Today we're visiting the Rudolph Tegner Museum.
We're the Youngs.
We've spent our lives traveling the world, and in 2018 we moved from
Chicago, Illinois to
Copenhagen, Denmark.
Now we want to share with you
how our new lives abroad
is keeping us young.
keeping us young.
are helping to keep us young.
We're here today at the Rudolph Tegner Museum here near Esrum and Travelin, and I am here with Luise Gomard, who is going to tell us some about Rudolph Tegner. Now, Rudolph Tegner was a sculpture artist who spent most of his life in Paris, and he was greatly influenced by Art Nouveau and Auguste Rodin, who actually is one of my favorite sculptors. So tell us some about Rudolph Tegner and his history and his influence on Denmark.
Yeah. Well, the place where we're standing now is his own museum. It's a single artist museum, as you call it. It is Rudolph Tegner himself who drawed it and built, had the museum built. So he has decided in every detail how this building should be. From the outside, it looks very bombastic. It looks,
it's very stark and
strong and solid. But when you get in, you will get another feeling because it's actually very light with the lights from above, and the walls are so thin, and there's so many meters up to the roof in the center.
Yeah, it's
quite
beautiful.
11 meters up to the roof.
It does feel very airy and open when you're in there, and the lighting is so beautiful.
Yeah. And he has also been looking at the Moroccan buildings there because he went to Morocco 2 times in his lifetime.
Okay.
And actually 3 times, also when he was young. And you know, when you enter a Moroccan building, it's like you come into this garden in the middle, it's like where all the treasures are. And it's kind of the same thought he had with this building.
Oh, it's amazing.
Yeah. We have mainly works of art from his hands. So in this museum, you can see almost everything he made from when he was young until the last unfinished work just before he died that it never got finished.
Yeah.
That's kind of special because, you know, usually when you go to an exhibition, some curators, they have picked out some of the best art or something that, you know, goes into a context. And here you just, you just
see it
have
all.
it all. Yeah, you have it all. And Rudolph Tegner, he wanted to take the art in Denmark into a new level. So after finishing the academy in only 3.5 years, he went to France, in Paris, and he was influenced by French artists, you know, Auguste Rodin.
Yes, I love Rodin. Yeah.
And also older artists like Michelangelo, because they both had some very volume in their art. It was not that calm, steady thing as Thorvaldsen, which is beautiful, but it's more dramatic.
Yeah, and what I love about it is there's an imperfection in it that makes it so realistic. And I think when you see some of those, the Thorvaldsen sculptures, you know, they are in that very like classic style. But then when you come here and see what Rudolph Tegner did, it's kind of gritty, you know, and there's like, it's not perfect. And some are very like angular and sharp and stark. And then there's others there's a statue in front of the museum that is just so beautiful of this woman sitting, and her face is just so amazing. And I feel like that level of realism is not something you necessarily see in classical sculpture.
No, that was actually his wife.
Oh my gosh,
and
was
he
it?
made it
oh wow!
The year after they met.
Oh my goodness!
And it is actually the only statue in the museum where the person has clothing on.
Oh yeah.
The rest they are nudes or with you know, drapings or something like that.
Yeah, and so speaking of that, there's a very famous sculpture that he did of the Nobel laureate Niels Friesen. Yeah. So tell us some about that, because that was quite controversial.
Yes, it was. It actually marked one of the first time he really got in bad standing in Denmark on the art scene, because it was a contest to make a monument of Niels Friesen, and Tegner won it, but he had to share the first prize with the 3 other artists. And in the end, he got this commission. But people didn't like it.
Yeah.
They were like, what are these naked people doing?
Yeah.
Who of them is Niels Finsen? And why do they look like they have stomach ache? And
because the statue it's of a man. They're all naked, and it's of a man and flanked by two women, and they're kind of looking up towards the sky. And Niels Finsen was a scientist, and so it was kind of his interpretation of the work that he had done.
Yeah, he wanted to show how the light was healing people. So they got strong and vital again. And that was actually what Niels Finsen's research showed. So it makes kind of sense, but people didn't like it so much. He made a sculpture that was called Heracles and the Hydra. And it's a symbol of the artist fighting against the critics. And he made it, actually he started it in his younger years, around 1916, but he finished it in 1933 when he lived in Paris. And the work was transported in one piece from Paris to Denmark. It was erected in Helsingør. And it's still standing in Helsingør today. So actually a lot of his artworks are to be seen in Helsingør also, because the mayor in Helsingør really loved his work and was a very big support for Rudolph Tegner. The museum is also a mausoleum because Tegner, he decided that after his life, he would be buried inside the museum. So he's actually lying in his life work. Elna, his wife, was put inside of the big statue of Apollo in the red circle there. So they're both lying in what was their work of life, you know.
Now, you said every year they have a special exhibition. I know they have a special exhibition going on right now. So tell me some about the exhibitions that you do here every year.
Yeah. Well, the thing is that in many years, this museum has been lying a little bit in darkness. People some kind forgot it was here. And,
which they shouldn't, because it's so amazing. Yeah. Like, everybody should come here.
Yeah. But what we're trying to show with these special exhibitions is that Rudolph Tegner still is a great influencer. Yeah. He's inspiring contemporary artists also. So these exhibitions always make sure that they enlighten Tegner in a new way, so you will get a new understanding. So actually, if you come here every year, you will find a new angle to understand his work and to see his work in. Yeah.
Well, Lisa, thank you so much for telling us more about Rudolph Tegner, showing us around the museum. And it's just been lovely. And it really is amazing here. If you haven't been, you have to make the trip, because the sculpture work here, it really is just so beautiful. And it's so big too. So you just have to come out and see it.
Thank you.
Thank you. We are here at the Helsingør Brewhus, which a bunch of people have told us we need to come and try all of their beer and food, which we did, and it was amazing. It lived up to all of our expectations. It was a great way to end the day, right?
Yes, it was. We just wanted to say thank you to the museum for giving us some inside information about all the art there. And I also want to say thank you to the skink and the snake that I held. Thank you for being so nice. I miss you.
We're friends for life, right?
Yeah, definitely, for sure.
So thank you for following us once again throughout our day. It was so much fun. I'd love to come back up to these places again.
For sure.
And we will see you guys next time.
Bye.
Bye. We're at the Helsingør Brewhus, which... Let me do that again.